What's up, everybody? This is Chris, otherwise known as Music City Driver, coming at you on a cold and dreary day in Nashville, Tennessee. Wanted to go ahead and do my Money Monday installment. It's been a busy weekend. I wasn't able to drive Thursday night like I normally do because I had to change my brakes. They actually went metal to metal on me a day or two before that. I wasn't able to get the parts and all that stuff until Wednesday evening. Got two rotors and a set of pads and did the work myself. Luckily, at a friend's garage, along with the help of my foster son, who has taken some auto mechanic classes in high school. So he was eager to help me out with it, and we did it, knocked it out about 2 hours or so. Would have been a lot faster if we'd had a lift, but we didn't have access to one. We just had a jack and some jack stands. So wanted to go ahead and, as you can see, the lift is on my screen. Was actually the least amount earned of both of the services this weekend for me. Friday night was crazy busy on Uber, and Saturday was as well. Really, I had a total of like 47 trips on Uber, which is pretty crazy. I did have a Uber Quest for 33 trips for $41 extra. I did complete that. I actually almost completed it Friday night. Because Friday night I think I did 26 or 27 rides. I can't remember. So I only had I think I only had 6 left the next day. So it looks like I probably did 27 rides. I only had 6 left to do on Saturday, which I knocked out pretty easily within the first hour or two. Knocked that out. Got that $41 bonus, which helped quite a bit. So as you can see on the Lyft here, I only had 19 trips. And I was only online on Lyft for 18 hours, 51 minutes, and 44 seconds, which is not that long. And as part of my earnings, I got $28 in tips, $10 in cancel earnings. The $463 bonuses is just for a power zone that I had. I think I got 1 trip off of that, maybe. It was a plus ride. And then, of course, the express pay fee and Lyft fees, of course. So total of $206.57 there. We go to Uber. Like I said, Uber was by far the winner this weekend. I just was getting hammered with stacked rides all night on Friday and Saturday. It was pretty crazy, honestly. I didn't expect that. I expected it to be a little slow because it was cold and rainy, and there really weren't any big events going on. So it was pretty nuts. As you can see, I only worked Friday, Saturday into Sunday. I didn't work Sunday during the day. I just worked until like 7 o'clock in the morning, roughly, something like that. As you can see there, my total earnings were $527.42, and that was over a total of 47 trips, 24 hours and 21 minutes online, which is pretty interesting. Actually, that is correct. Actually, on those 2 days, I worked about 14 one day and 12 the other, 26 hours roughly. So 26 hours to make a grand total. And by the way, I did have some cash tips that are not reflected on here. I had $15 in tips on the app here. Like I showed, $28 in tips on the app and Lyft. I also had a $10 cash tip from one ride, and no other cash tips. However, I did get a bonus from a strip club here in Nashville. If you're not aware of this, they pay you what's called a spiff for each person that you bring to a strip club. And this was from Deja Vu, otherwise known as The Vu, here in Nashville. And I was taking actually a bachelorette party over to Deja Vu. So I picked them up on Division Street. It was an XL ride, taking them over to Deja Vu, and they wanted to stop and get some beer because, whether you know that or not, the Nashville strip clubs are all bring your own beer, bring your own bottles, BYOB. You cannot buy alcohol in the club. So I was happy to stop by for them because I knew I would probably be getting some cash as a bonus, and I did. I went inside with them and got $12 a person. So 6 people were in my car. $72 cash was paid to me, which was pretty awesome. Nice little incentive bonus there. And so that ends up with a total of $53 in tips total, and $815.99 total. Now, once again, a disclaimer, I probably should have said this at first. I do drive XL and Select on Uber, and I also drive Plus on Lyft, which pay significantly higher rates than X or regular Lyft. So keep that in mind when you're looking at my earnings. So for 26 hours, that is not bad at all. If I had worked Thursday as well, I probably could have broken 1,000. Easy to, I think that's pretty easy to say that I could have done that. So really successful week. Really successful week. One interesting thing that happened though, I had a couple of surged rides on Friday night that were surged XL rides from like Dunbury Street, all the way out to like West Belmead areas, stuff like that. Really ritzy parts of town. Really nice kids that were in town from Ole Miss. And I actually ended up getting a couple of rides from them. But the interesting part was that I had no idea. Somehow a Lyft ride got accepted, and I don't know how. While I was picking them up for an XL ride, I guess I definitely was not running Maestro at the time, and I usually am pretty good about turning those off, but I don't understand how it got accepted is the problem. So I just noticed when I started to drop them off, I was like, wait a minute, there's something on Lyft, because I was going to turn Lyft back on, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a navigation thing, and it's showing that I'm going to a ride. So I was like, okay, that's bizarre. And I thought that was really weird. So I look at it, and this lady had requested this ride at that point almost an hour before from Dunbury Street, where I was before. So I started driving back towards there. It was going to take me at least 15 minutes to get to her location. So I started texting and calling. No response from text or from calling. I got a little bit closer. They finally answered. And I asked for the lady's name, and she said that depends. And I was like, okay, well, this is Lyft. Call, and she hung up. So I texted again. I was like, hey, do you still need a Lyft ride? And she's like, no, we're good. But at that point, I pulled up and arrived. I hit the arrive button, and after I did that, she immediately canceled it. Almost immediately. Maybe a minute or so passed. But I didn't have to wait for the full 5 minutes, and I got a $5 cancellation fee. I felt kind of bad about it because it had been so long, but apparently she wasn't going to need the ride anyway. So I don't know. There's some guy picked her up or something. I don't know. I have no idea what the deal was there. But anyway, I still got a $5 cancellation fee on it to begin to compensate me for that, even though those were some good rides that I was on. So it probably would have paid me more for those surged Uber XLs anyway, rather than just a plain old classic Lyft. I think it was maybe a 50% prime time or something. But anyway, interesting weekend, very lucrative weekend, surprisingly lucrative weekend because it was raining all weekend here in Nashville. I mean, like pouring down at times, and just a steady rain the whole time. Just about a couple of times it slacked up for a second, and then it would start sprinkling again, and then it would start raining again. So it was pretty nasty outside. There weren't really a lot of events going on. No Predators games. They were on a they were actually not Western, but a Canadian road trip. So they were not in town. The only thing that was happening at Bridgestone was a couple of nights of a rodeo that didn't seem to be heavily attended because after they let out, there was not that many people coming out. And then the only other thing I know of that was going on in town was a Vampire Diaries convention that was at the Sheraton Music City. I didn't get any rides to there or from there. I can't imagine it was very heavily attended, but enough to make a difference anyway. But that was my week here in Nashville, guys. I'm looking forward to it starting to ramp up. I did get quite a few bachelorette parties over the weekend, which means they're probably heading back here to start their spring and summer bachelorette season off with a bang. Like I said, I had a couple, at least 2 or 3 over the 2 days, which as we get into the spring and summer, it's going to be a lot more than that. So hope you guys had a great weekend as well. I'm looking forward to getting back out and driving Thursday. Maybe a little bit during the week. I don't know. I didn't drive at all last week during the week because of the brake situation, so didn't get to do that. But that is all I got for right now, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're looking to drive for Uber or Lyft, check out my promo codes, my referral codes below. And if you're looking to join Postmates or something like that, I've got a couple of links down there for that as well. So just for when times are slow, you may want to do some food delivery on the side. Who knows? Hope you guys are having a very lucrative time. And if you're out driving, be safe. And I will talk to you guys later.